This is the Wild Man, Chris Wilds, and welcome to another edition of the OHIO podcast. And today I wanted to come to you and talk a little bit about the trenches. Yeah, the trenches. But before we get into that, let me just remind everybody to please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and if you really like what we do here, make sure that you consider joining the channel. It's only $3.99 a month. Hit the bell. That lets you know when we drop new content. So a big talk coming out of the spring game was obviously the defensive line depth. As we head deeper into the spring transfer portal window, obviously we are going to have to address the defensive line depth. The portal is no longer just a tool for us guys. It is the tool for filling those little holes that this team seems to have. And coming off a national championship, this team has a few holes, but not a great deal. One of those is the defensive line. Ryan Day and his staff know this. The Buckeyes are going to attack this cycle with a clear goal. Revamp the defensive line and add depth. And not just depth, but dominance. So today I'm going to come to you with what I think are the 5 defensive linemen who are in the portal right now who could potentially be wearing the scarlet and gray come this fall. So I'm going to give you who they are, a little bit about them, and then what I think their chances are that they are going to be a Buckeye this fall. The first one is going to be TJ Bush. Now, TJ Bush is an edge rusher. He's out of Liberty. The guy was a game wrecker at that level. Bush ranks first in productivity among the portal defenders. He had 90 tackles, 16 TFLs, 7.5 sacks, 9 pass breakups this past 2 seasons. He's been terrorizing offenses as an edge rusher for Liberty, and he's posted a solid PFF grade of 78.4 last season. Now, again, we're talking about Liberty, so it's not exactly a Big Ten power type school. He was not a blue chip recruit. But you know what? Right now, a lot of the Power 4 is trying to get this kid. And Ohio State, I think, is firmly in the mix. I think he's looking right now. South Carolina is probably the leader. You got Ohio State and North Carolina State both in the mix. Right now, I'm going to say there's a chance, probably like a mid-range chance, that TJ Bush ends up a Buckeye at the end of this season, or at the end of this transfer portal season. Another guy that made a lot of noise here recently is Eli Medozi. Again, another edge rusher out of Army. Medozi is kind of the wild card in the group here a little bit. Last season, 34 tackles, 6.5 sacks for an Army team that was among the stingiest defenses in all of college football. Hybrid guy, can stand up, he can put his hand down in the dirt, whatever he needs to do. But can he transition from Army's defense to the grind and physicality of the Big Ten defense? From what I've been heard, he is a raw talent, but he's got the bend of a linebacker with the fight of an end. What does that mean? He's got a lot of potential. Right now, I think he probably is looking Big Ten. I think the favorites to land him are probably Michigan State or Penn State, but I think Ohio State is kind of in the mix. I'm going to put him as kind of a lower mid-range possibility for Ohio State. But again, we are in the mix. Now, here's a guy coming up here that I think could be the one. And that is Bo Atkinson, edge rusher out of North Carolina. He's one to watch. He has connections to Columbus. He is a former top 150 recruit, 6'6", 260, long arms, very explosive. He is a Larry Johnson type of end who I think could add some serious depth and be a game wrecker for the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are very heavily involved with him right now. Several staffers are following him on social media. One of his former coaches at North Carolina was quoted as saying, he's got Sunday traits in the room right now. He's explosive. Projected destinations. This guy's big time. Ohio State, Tennessee, Auburn. From everything that I've heard and read, it seems to me that Bo Atkinson is a lean towards Ohio State right now, but we'll have to see what happens. Next, we have at number 4, De'Marion Thomas, defensive tackle out of Vanderbilt. Now, the great thing is this guy is a true defensive tackle. If you look at De'Marion size-wise, he is 6'2", 334. The guy started all 13 games in the SEC last year for Vanderbilt, 34 tackles, a sack. Not huge stats that jump off the sheet at you, but the guy eats up space and takes up blocks. He is a big physical man, and he allows the playmakers, those guys on the end, those linebackers, to get a clean shot. He is the type of player that can come in and be an impact guy without putting up huge stats. I could see this guy as a part of the rotation the minute he enters. He still has 2 years of eligibility left, which I think is huge. So we're talking short-term impact, long-term value. I really feel that it's there. Top 3 right now, I think, are Texas A&M, Ohio State, and Louisville. I got Ohio State as kind of a mid-level chance to upper mid-level chance of landing De'Marion Thomas. The last guy we're going to talk about today is the defensive tackle, Josh Horton. Josh Horton is a defensive tackle out of Miami. He didn't get much playtime at Miami because they were stacked with depth along that line. But he is a legitimate hoss. 6'4", 295, 4-star tools, but he's rough. He needs developed. The Buckeyes, especially in the mode they're in right now, tend to lean towards guys in the portal who are ready to go. Guys who can come in and make an immediate impact. But if Larry Johnson's still looking to be here for a couple years coaching, this is a guy who I think he could come in and turn into a real beast along this defensive line. Now, that being said, I don't know how high he is on the Buckeyes currently. The Buckeyes are mentioned among his landing spots, potential landing spots, but favorites seem to be teams in the South. UCF, Mississippi State, USF, and Ohio State have all been mentioned. Is he going to land at Ohio State? He could. I'm not 100% sold on that. I think he's probably a medium low potential of landing with Ohio State. So overall, if we're looking for plug and play guys, TJ Bush, De'Marion Thomas, those are our guys. I don't know if we land TJ Bush, but both these guys are battle tested. They're physical. They're ready to go. If you look at ceiling, at fit, at long-term star power, I like Bo Atkinson here. I really believe Bo Atkinson's going to become a Buckeye. But can you imagine if we got Bo Atkinson off the edge Thomas anchoring the inside, together with all this talent that we already have. Edric Houston, Caden McDonald, Caden Kerr, Kenyatta Jackson Jr., uh, you know, CJ Hicks, who's slid into a edge rush position. Guys, this becomes nasty. This is a defensive line that becomes nasty. They have the twitchy edge rushers. They've got the physical plug it up the middle guys, just eating up blockers in the middle of that line, freeing up the edge guys and the linebackers to get in there and just torment the hell out of quarterbacks and running backs in the backfield. I believe that if we can get those two guys, this team right now, I'll call it, will be playing for another national championship next season. You know, Ohio State's not looking to just simply reload. Ohio State is looking to reestablish a fear factor up front, a dominance. So right there is kind of our what we want, who we need. So, of course, we'll keep you posted on the commitments as they roll in, but keep an eye on those trenches. Stay locked in. Until next time, guys, this is the Wild Man Chris Wilds saying, Go Bucks.